Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing some modifications to the circuit from the first video with the Sunny Buddy charger again, and this time I'm going to add two voltage and current sensors to the board so we can keep an eye on what's going on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this horrifically long ribbon cable so we can read the information from the two sensors there. So we're going to make up a cable to connect those two together, and we're going to then solder them to the Sunny charger and mount it all up, and let's see how we get on. So first of all, I've got a 5-way ribbon cable, which is an offcut of another ribbon cable that I had, and one leg is intentionally longer than the others. You'll see why a bit later on. So what I'm going to do first of all is hopefully prepare the end of the cable there. So we've got the ends of those four prepared. I'm going to leave the long one just for a minute, and I'm going to prepare the shorter links, which will go from one sensor to the other, because those sensors use I2C interface, which is daisy chainable, and I've already prepared the sensors to be on different addresses. So you can see this one here has an extra blob of solder just there on the A0 jumper, and this one doesn't have that. So this one is at address 40 and this one is at address 41, so we can read the sensor values separately from each other. So first of all, I'm going to just put a small amount of solder on the holes. Then I'm going to melt the solder and push the cable in. Same for this one. And there you go, we've got two perfectly strong made joints. It's just that we top soldered instead of bottom soldering it. So you may wonder how this is actually wired up. These Sunny Buddy charger boards have pads here for extra panels, solar panels. So normally you plug in by the barrel jack here, and you can actually populate terminal blocks here to add another panel in parallel. What I'm actually using those pads for is a way to tap off the power from this input before it gets to the charge chip. So you can see here there's two jumpers, jumper 1 and jumper 2. When jumper 1 is bridged, that will take the input from this barrel jack straight into the chip. As if jumper 2 is bridged, which it is in this case, it will take the input from this track up here, which would be another barrel jack if it was populated. So as far as the board's concerned, with the sensor in place, it's just reading it across there basically. So that's one of the chips soldered and ready. So what I'm going to do now is attach the other one. The place I'm going to attach the other one to is this part here, which is in the manual for the Sunny Buddy boards. This is where you measure the current when you're setting up the battery charge current, but I'm going to tap off here for the other sensor so I can read the current going to the battery. So I'm going to screw this one here. Make those parallel like that. I'm not going to make you sit and watch me solder those wires in, I'll do those off camera in a second. But I will show you how we're going to wire up the ribbon cable. So I mentioned that the sensors use I2C, which is 2 cables, 2 wires. If I can get that on screen there. So we have VCC, which powers the sensor board. We have ground, and then we have SCL and SDA. So SCL is the clock line, and SDA is the data line. The long cable, which I was going to mention, is going to take a tap from the battery output here and send that back down the ribbon cable for the microcontroller that I'm going to use to read the sensor data, so it can actually be powered by the charger itself. And the board that I'm going to use is this really awesome little M5 stick. So it's got a battery input here, which is tied directly to the battery inside the case. So I can take 3.7 volts up to 4.2 volts from the charger straight into here, and it will actually power this without me needing to worry about charging it up or anything, which is pretty cool. These things are amazing. It's got an ESP32 in it, which is a 32-bit microcontroller with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. It's got built-in screen, it's got infrared transmitter and receive, it's got accelerometers, there's all kinds of stuff in these, and I think it was something like 14 quid, £14, which is nothing. So on these sensor boards we have VIN plus, VIN negative. If I show you on the screen, VIN plus, VIN negative, and current goes into VIN plus and out from VIN minus. So, and the pins are duplicated over here. And as you can see from the circuit, that the battery, which is the second wire of the two, is actually the same as VIN minus. So I could just tap that off there on that very last hole there. So I'm going to do that. So that's that end wired up. Then we just have to make the connector to plug in at the other end. Now I'm not going to heat shrink those just yet, because I'm going to test it first. So somewhere I've got the programming cable, which is there. Now we have fluctuating battery voltages. So after that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.